All right. Welcome again, everyone, to another episode of Yardy Links. I'm happy to see two persons here waiting for this hot topic to be discussed. And as usual, I have my co-host with me. I have Ryan, top left. Big up yourself, Ryan. We have Fabian, top right. Fabian, big up yourself. Leon.
Half recovered.
Yeah, like, you know, last week, Fabian, no, Leon was out due to illness. And we have pretty miss to the bottom left, Jason. And we have two guests with us today, folks. Right? We have Grinny. He's joining us today. He's one of our what I should say, loyal viewer who has been with us from day one. And we're just inviting him to have a chat with us on this interesting topic. Grinny is not as infamous as our guest last week. Rapid, but it's almost as bad. And then we have with us at the bottom is our guest speaker, but he's probably the most important person for today's proceedings. We have Jermaine. He's an officer in the field in local diaspora that's in Jamaica.
Upholder of the law.
Upholder of the law, right? He has been through many offices throughout the force. So, you know, we have office in-house and we have on the road, you know, ticketing folks and the whole 9 yards, right? And so we invited him to be part of the show to really help us dissect the new Road Traffic Act, right? And he'll be sharing his views and also he'll be answering many of our questions, right? And if you have questions, folks, please put it in the chat. We'll be actively monitoring the chat today to ensure that we answer as much questions as possible. And also he will be Jermaine. I will be calling Officer Jermaine. So you can, if you want to make sure it's directed at him, you can say Officer Jermaine and then throw your question. And then you have yours truly, Rory, from Yard as well. Yeah. And so let us kick it off, folks. The new Road Traffic Act, right? Everybody familiar and see what is happening in the country with the Road Traffic Act, yeah? Who is 100% for the new act? You, Leon?
Me. I mean, hate to see the accidents them and thing without proper laws and rules in place to protect people where we don't know better. You have to put things in place to make sure that the people do the right thing. Especially when it come on to the kids them. We think the kids them must be safe because they don't have a choice in how them travel, where them go, and what them do. So I think that the rules that were coming, as far as me know, they should remain and should be in place, and people should work with them to ensure the safety of people on the road and kids on the whole.
Okay. Officer Jermaine, you with us?
Yeah, man, go ahead.
All right. So
me kind of afraid, you know. Afraid of police.
Well, I'm afraid of police, brother. Afraid of police, man.
We're not taking to them, man. We are free to say what we want to say. But officer, are you in full agreement with the entire new act?
Yes and no, but mostly yes.
Yes and no. All right. Let's start with the yes part. Right? Which part do you agree with? You agree with the higher fine? Just tell us, what do you agree with?
All right, I think the new Road Traffic Act is finally addressing some of the main concerns that a lot of motorists would have been facing on a daily basis. And I think this.
Background music. And that shows. Give me a moment. All right, go ahead now. Continue.
Is it? Yeah,
No,
man.
it seems to be
So
your background.
it's my background.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it seems to be like
Music.
Is it any better now?
Yeah, man, much better.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, man. So the Road Traffic Act, the new Road Traffic Act, so to speak, addresses a lot of the concerns that would have been there from the get-go and would have gone unnoticed for some time. That is not brought up to scrutiny where one can be more accountable for an action. So I'm going to quote something when it comes down to insurance. As it is now, the old Road Traffic Act does not give provisions. For example, if you're in an accident with somebody and the person does not have any insurance, there's no penalty or ticketable offense that can be issued to that person if no insurance. Now, with the new Road Traffic Act, if you don't have insurance, you can be ticketed. On the old system, the most the police could do is just write a summons if for court. The charge if you're found guilty is 2,500. No, of course,
US?
that's not saying anything.
No,
But
no,
now that
no.
I must US that.
Jamaica,
Continue.
yeah, man.
Cheers,
So
small
now
change.
with the new road traffic, no, if you are on the road without insurance, that is a fine. And if I'm not mistaken, it's $20,000.
Okay. So you're saying before, if the person involved in an accident never have insurance, the most they can do is take out a summons. But now you can fine them $20,000.
$20,000, that's right.
Okay. Okay, that sounds good. I mean,
I agree with that.
Yeah, that sounds good. All right. The car seat. Before you start getting into it.
Well,
I don't want to answer you. Right? Where do the car seat? Where do the car seat? The car seat.
Hold on.
issue.
Before we go into that, I believe Andrew Holness did recall that the whole.
No, when we getting into it. So
Yeah.
Andrew, what
He
did
said
say?
no, he didn't recall. He said it would discretion. I know discretion is something that I'm not sure what discretion is because everybody's discretion is different. I don't think he said anything definitive about it. He just said the officers will use their discretion. So I think that is probably still a work in progress.
He
To
also
say
said,
because it has to be something. It has to be something specific. You can't say discretion because discretion is room for
up in
problem.
the air. Not up in the air.
Big up Sham Smith. Big up Arlene.
Right.
But
So,
can we talk? There's a part of the law that I don't know if it was already in a part of the law and it wasn't being reinforced, but I noticed that it is now mentioned and I totally agree with it with the cell phone. A fine that is
That was needed.
that was needed, yeah, because people are using cell phones while driving and that's dangerous. And it's not like many of us don't every now and again prips down on our phone while we're driving or look at it while we're driving. But some people are going as far as holding it up, texting while they're driving. And I'm driving past people and I'm looking at them and I'm looking across and I'm saying these people are serious. You're driving and you're texting, and I believe that there should be a no phone. I don't know what they call it in England, but I think it's called what? No hands or something like that. I think it's in the US where it said no
Hands free.
Hands free. Thank you, Green. Hands free means that you can be on the phone. You can you're on the phone, you're talking on the phone, just like it's you coming to your Bluetooth and you're in your car. That's okay. But when you go and to start taking up the phone in your hand and start using it now, that's you're looking for an accident. You're looking for
right. So there's a question. The problem I have, Grinny. Let me say, may I ask Grinny? Grinny, the fines, they have all pretty much doubled. See? Almost. All right, well, some of them way past doubled. Do you think that the higher fines is a means of curbing behavior, or you think it's just a way of raising funds by levying higher fees? What do you think?
One could say that the intention is to curb behavior, but as we have seen historically, people just try to find a way to grow, all the fines, a police officer catching them while, committing these acts.
They're not being ticket neither.
Exactly. So one of it, and my opinion, to be honest, based on what I'm seeing here, is almost like in the UK, it's similar. It's just an act to raise funds, right? You know, they implement all these new road traffic laws, these new laws, these restrictions, and it's like a means to just raise funds because it's really not changing the behavior, right? And increasing the funds doesn't necessarily change the behavior. You have to really start from the root cause, which is probably another topic, which is, hey, try to curb the general mindset of people to say, hey, obey traffic law. The reason why you're not supposed to use your phone because it's dangerous, not because you're going to get a $20,000 ticket, but because it's dangerous.
Yeah.
So
I agree with
I can ask Officer Jermaine something. As it relates to the
Not paying
new
ticket.
law, because they said they were gonna do it in phases, yeah, and for February 1st to come around, and they're saying, okay, we're gonna start with this new car seat thing and all these other things. Wasn't it a bit? I don't think it's a bit sudden on the Jamaican people. They give the turnaround time they didn't give them much turnaround time to respond to
these new
try and uphold, because of course we're gonna try and uphold the law and so forth, but give the Jamaican people some time to respond and time to actually not get caught in a situation where we have to get a ticket or a fine. If you get what I'm saying, Officer Jermaine. Officer Jermaine there. While he's thinking, I just think that for me personally, we know Jamaica is in a deep recession at the moment, and
Keep
money making thing.
But and I'm saying, let me just call a spade, and I'm just kind of break up some folly ground here. So where I think that these laws were imposed, to, as I said, to make money, and because when I look at all these fines, they have increased. They have increased, as I said, double, some of them double, and if you're gonna try and see if you're trying to stabilize the economy, I don't think this is the best way forward. I think they call it taxation by citation, where you start give out tickets and fines and fees to kind of raise revenue, in a way to generate revenue for the country.
You know how many knows, right? You know how many knows they are true at all. Hold on, I'm going to cut it. So here's why I say that. You know, say when they collect money in a parliament, right? If you are implementing these things, right, and you are implementing these things to see a change, yes or no? You are implementing these things to see less accidents on the road, yes or no? Good.
Yeah.
How can you be in parliament and what is deemed as a successful initiative is the amount of money we want to collect? We collected 3 point how much, whatever bill. Everybody,
that is the agenda. That's the agenda.
That's the agenda.
Yeah.
The people
And
money.
What you're talking about, though? The last collection that they had the other day, that's what you're talking about?
I think,
yeah, but I mean, the horse would have gone through the gates already. So it's not the crimes that have been committed, the ticketable offenses would have been committed. So the applause would be, okay, we tried to at least recover some money. So I don't know if that is really telling that is money that they're after. I don't think so. The offenses would have already been committed.
But
so it's not like you can measure.
I think it's subtly about the funds. Money. All right, I'm telling you why I'm saying that. If you're really into crime fighting and traffic fighting, then you want to make a difference, then you have to invest in the initiatives, meaning that you have to buy equipment. You have to be spending money, put camera up on the road so that you can detect certain speed and all of these things. When I listen to you guys, and you guys are talking to me earlier this week, and I tell me about some stuff on having at the US and at the UK, I was like, I couldn't believe that Jamaica need these things. But so if you really want to fight crime and want to fight this thing, you need to spend money. They don't want to spend money. They want to collect money. No, think about it. In the UK.
Quick question, Ray. What are some of these equipments that
all right, let's talk about some of the equipments then. Right. So let's start with the first one, the cameras, the speed cameras in the UK and in the US. these gentlemen that are here with me, right? They talk all the time how they might drive, and they can attest to it. They drive, boom, picture take, and when they reach home, right, they get a meal, you have to pay a ticket, and they can't avoid it. Like when in Jamaica, you have 200 tickets outstanding, right? They have to pay their ticket. See? But talking about that, let me just
So,
digress a
so
bit.
every
Officer,
vehicle,
more about the 200 ticket.
Hold on,
Oh, go on, Leon.
Why, hold on,
every
why do
vehicle.
they have to? Why do they have to pay though? Why do you? What is the mechanism in
All
place
right,
that
so
will
let me explain
ensure
that the
that you have to
mechanism.
pay?
Yeah, so let me show you
Yeah.
how they ensure they pay.
Hold on a
We
minute,
are
Leon.
asking
Leon.
that.
Okay, go on.
Leon,
Sorry,
Leon.
Leon. Go ahead.
When I
Yeah.
said every vehicle in the UK that is roadworthy, that is not soaring. Soaring means to say the vehicle is taken off the road. That means it must not be seen anywhere on the road. You have people drive around with cameras, or police officers who drive around with cameras in their cars, and these cars are it takes photograph of all license plates. So if your license plate don't show up, them come clean it off and figure out who it belong to last, and that person will get a fine. And possibly they can take the car and sell it. Them take one of my car and sell it already. You know?
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
Sell your car.
so yeah, man, take it and auction it.
Yeah, man. Them
And
dangerous.
me not get nothing back for it. And me call and I look for my car. Them say, oh, we sell it.
Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah, man. Them dangerous.
car-
Them dangerous like that.
they
Serious.
call a report to my car stolen and whatever. But to be honest, it kind of brought down. So we leave it for about 3 months and we never licensed. So now when the car is licensed, there's a national database that every police car connected to, that when your car passes, it automatically check. They say, oh, this one insured, this one is not insured. And if it is not insured, automatically a ticket is is written to you. Now, if that address does not, that it goes to, live there, that our extra £1,000 again.
Wow.
But Leon,
Work out £1,000 in a Jamaican dollar. You see,
Leon,
your car probably never value that. You understand? So, and that I got keep.
Leon,
And if you can't pay, you don't go to prison. Yes.
Let me interject this. So sorry. You talk about when you drive past and they tell you if you're insured. I give my story. I drove past a police officer and he pulled me over. This is England now. Pulled me over and said, Mr. White, your car not insured. I said, I mean, officer, my car not insured. My car insured. And I showed them. The only thing we have as evidence on my phone. I show him my bank statement. Says, see there, it's going towards the insurance company and whatever. I never have nothing else to show him. Come and I have no papers. And the man said, based on this particular thing, your insurance up. When me look, me see the man call Rick and take up my car, brother. They left me stranded in London, Left me stranded in London right this man. Right in London, they have to call one of my brethren to come for me. You understand? That is how serious these officers are and how they enforce their laws in these first world countries.
And if you drive the car and there's no registration fee, or then can't find the owner, they will crush that car straight away.
Yeah, man.
Or auction it. So, catch them a carry one car go down, so go put down and wait for one man come claim. They don't have time for that.
Crush it.
That will cost money. That will get crushed.
Yeah, man. Because it costs money if you keep it there.
All if a new car, it could have brand new 1-year-old car. They might crush that.
No, I think it's for older cars.
No, man. It's for
older
cars,
not older cars.
My understanding, if them take it up and the owner not come claim it, they might crush that. Or sell it.
Auction it.
Yeah.
Sell it.
But guess what? Guys, so listening to you, and I'm sure the viewers enjoying to see a different perspective from a different country. But another thing, viewers, click the like button, please. I beg you. I'm not pressure on you. Well, not pressure on you, but please.
We need to address some of the things I'm saying.
This is what Jamaica need to implement, where every police officer have access to the database so they can scan and see straight away. Or the car is not legal enough for the on the road. They belong to Mikey.
But
Mikey.
hold
on. Jeremy.
Yeah,
Go on.
after Jeremy. Go on.
It's been implemented.
Yeah.
In terms of the traffic stops, it will be able to tell the amount of tickets outstanding and so on. Everything about the vehicle, if it's stolen, and the necessary action can be taken on that particular stop. And it also speaks in that same breath. It also speaks to the getting rid of the ticket books. So instead of being issued a ticket that is going to take up 10 minutes at a time, 15 minutes, depends on how many offense. It's just a quick scan of your driver's license, enter an offense, and you're issued a ticket right there on the spot, and you're gone. So less inconvenience to the motorist. So
what happened when they don't have the driver's license?
when they don't have the
A
driver's
fine.
license. Well,
Yeah.
Fine for that.
you provide no man. At the discretion again, you as the officer should do the necessary check to verify that this person has a driver's license,
Mm.
Andrew Barnes,
and
Because
that
something
can be
you
what,
said,
done
what,
yes,
from
sir.
the
what,
system.
Say something. Yes,
what
sir.
happened to me
So
the other
guys,
day? The other day I was driving and I was speeding actually, and but me have my kids in the car and stuff, and police pulled me over. I didn't have any license on me, so they asked me if I have a bank card, so they could check like my name on the bank card and stuff, and I didn't have anything, nothing at all. And what they did, they just scan the car, look who it belonged to, and search and find my picture and look at it and say, "You this?" So it's like you cannot hide, So if you are who you say you are, so those are the things.
Listen, Leah,
Those are the things that they need.
Any bank card I go ask for in Jamaica a different thing. Now I'm going to just ask you if you guys hear about the police and they say rape the woman. We know about it last week.
Yeah, man, we hear about it.
The one in St.
Hold
Elizabeth.
on.
One is said, yeah. Right. What happened is that the police, when we hear, they can tell if I saw a go officer, right? When we hear say the police stopped the lady, and then the lady was driving a DC vehicle. So say it's a vehicle from a dealer, right?
Demonstration
And then-
made, right?
Yeah, they are right. And them say, listen, them must go ticket her or something like that. But we don't know what exactly. But the lady say, oh, she don't want a ticket. So them say, yo, you are going. This is what they found. Them tell her, say, yo, they want 50K. And the 50K, she couldn't find it. So I think she said, yo, she have a machine, go dry it or so. And so when she got the machine, them decide, say, I'm going to rape her and thing. But I don't know, officer, if you know more, you want to,
Shed some light.
said some stuff about, because this bribery thing in Jamaica. You see this new fine thing, enough police happy there this because notice what, you can't squeeze him a drinks money again, Right now, the drinks money, you have to turn up the money there now, right? So tell us what this bribery thing and the rape thing, if you know anything about it, if you would like to disclose anything.
All right, I can't comment on an active investigation that I have no knowledge on in full details to comment. So I'm not going to comment on that. Okay, as it relates to the bribery now, well, you see the thing, Jamaica is built on corruption. So we're the 6th most corrupt country, according to an article I read a few days ago. Now, with that said, I mean, if you're subject to a traffic stop, let's say it's $15,000 for not having the fitness, because if you don't have a valid fitness now, it's $15,000. You decide, the officer said, well, left or right? Well, left means that you pay. All right means I'm going to write the ticket. But anyway, let's say the officer solicits a bribe. There are certain mechanisms in place as we speak that can actually deal with that by collecting the officer's particulars, regulation number,
tell me that one.
Vehicle details, and from there you can proceed to the inspectorate, a professional IPROP. It was normally the inspectorate of the constabulary to make a formal report about that incident, and an investigation will then take place from there. So the force itself has a necessary framework to deal with that investigation.
Hold on. My question with
Before I go to the question, so automatically, if you solicit a bribe as a police, right, and a report is made the next day, you're gonna know who. Automatically, you're gonna know who, because you know where you do. So
let me say, supposed to afraid to talk then.
No.
Okay.
If you're afraid with
my concern with
go
that
ahead.
is yeah, Jeremy. My concern with that is if I am supposed to report this officer, right? Whose word are they going to believe if this officer now denies that such an act happened?
Is it mostly like believing the word, or is it like a number of cases brought against these persons over time?
Because
as the report is made, an investigation has to be launched.
And not now come off it.
Yeah,
Jeremy,
like-
you know
No,
say-
no,
come off it.
no.
Okay, I can tell you something. Hold on. You know, I was traveling on the highway. I want to answer this officer. Other day, me upset and me I share with my friends. I travel upon the highway, and you tell me say the big highway, the north highway, not the east-west one. They tell me say 80 kilometers per hour, or approximately 50 miles per hour. You just say foolish. Say just foolish.
The foot too heavy. The foot too heavy.
Hold on.
Man. If you take a
50
tap
miles
A
per
good,
hour.
a good speed that.
No, don't do it. 50 miles per hour. If you're living in the US, you can work that out. In Jamaica, that's 80 kilometers per hour. You're supposed to be below that speed limit, the entire highway. No, the purpose of the
A
highway.
good speed that. A good
Where you
speed.
spend $2,000 odd
We
dollars
spend
for
$2,000
toll
upon
for?
it so we can move at a reasonable speed. You're going to
Crazy.
say 80
Crazy.
and the
80
police-
kilometers too slow.
The entire time, of course.
Yeah, man, you can't restall on the hill.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes,
And
man. Crazy.
watch this now. Watch this now.
Foolishness.
The man, the officer, this is of course. The officer, more officer Jeremy address this because the officer stay at the foot of the hill. Tell me no, because money making thing, right? A money man looking, see? Because if you look for speeding, you can't find anybody at speed, go woo, pass it anytime. Him stay at the foot of the hill when me at descend. What about me start to descend? Him clap me and say me there 90 kilometers per hour. And then Pantapite now, officer. You will ask me now. One know if this allude to bribing. When me stop, him say, you know how fast you were going? I said, no, but we never really go fast. Him say you were going 90. Show him for the gun. I know if you have a gun, they stick long time for the 90. See? Because 90 exact. So I say, anywho, I say 90, officer. I said, we never go so fast. But him say, yes, we're going 90. Him say, where you work? I stop right there, so now, officer. Officer Jeremy, the facts him ask me when we work, right there, so. Is that allude to bribing? We can start recording.
We work now, nothing to do with the ticket, eh? It's fine.
No, we do the
No, no, do
ticket.
it.
So, where's Officer Jeremy? Him gone?
No, man,
Oh.
no. That is not bribing. That no. Remember, bribing is used arbitrarily soliciting money from somebody. So that couldn't be considered as a bribe, but merely just getting some background information.
That's a lead to bribing, though.
Why you want
Background information as to how much to put on it.
No, man.
How much
No, man.
price to charge.
No, hold on.
Hey, go on, talk.
Asking somebody.
You want to know
Where
your
they were.
intelligence level.
What are you?
No, man. Remember, you're not hearing about money, So you can't be said that you're asking for a bribe.
But nobody now go ask you straight up.
Yeah, you know, ask me straight up. Him say, where you work? I'm going to start thinking, I'm going to tell him teacher. Because if I tell him teacher, Mr. Rabbit a chance of coming off.
Not
Yeah, public sector.
He worked 2
Right,
times for me.
Officer
He worked
Jeremy?
2 times for me already, so I don't know. Teacher.
Public sector, man.
More Officer Jeremy, who was in the field. Officer Jeremy, be honest. If I say to you that I work in the public sector as a teacher,
Right.
does that in any way, shape, or form affect your discretion?
Please, sir,
If it that is based on the officer. The only officer can decide his discretion at his discretion. If he wants to give a discretion.
Okay, if you want to give a discretion.
Right.
Okay.
So I don't personally. I don't see where a profession would really warrant a discretion. It's up to the whole nature of the conversion.
Well,
Okay.
positive I am say
Okay.
it could be a doctor on call, so discretion could
Maybe.
be used right there.
Well,
But somebody
Right, so-
was asking
Right, I
about
mean, you're right,
the new laws, and I have here about 30 new laws that they're trying to enforce. 30
the
new
car
ones.
seat. No, the bike one. What about the bike one first?
A whole heap- quite a few of them.
The
But
bike one.
Before you go to the bike one,
Which
the one
Roy, hold on, Roy. Yeah, go ahead,
Bike one
sorry,
that
go ahead.
about?
Yeah, which bike one is
Let me
it?
tell you which bike one they are talking about.
Yeah, man. Let Leon go.
Oh, there is one that I saw that says failure to produce your license, you'll get charged what, 10 grand. Do you still
there-
require? So it wasn't it or still like an option where you have like 3 days
2
to turn
days,
in
2 days
2
or
days
3
or
days.
something?
That
That
gone.
gone?
For the driver's license.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm actually looking at the act right now.
Failure
Just
to
give me a few
produce.
minutes and come back to that one.
Failure
Let me just
All
look
right.
at it.
All right, we can go and look on that
Make
because
go look through the
sometimes
comments.
leave
But let me ask you a question.
Hold on, I
Follow
got-
there, so do you believe that these, as I said, these laws is a mean for kind of force or trap people in poverty? Do you believe that?
So
Because when you look at the fact that all right, so they're new 750, I think, new systems that they have been put into procurement to curb these problems. But what I am looking at is the fact that you had they had 500 people, or what, 45 people at 500 or more tickets, yeah, up to last December 22, 1,700 and something people, 1,700 and something people had up between 100 to 499 tickets.
Tickets.
You know, tickets
Crazy.
outstanding no pay. You understand? So that is why I was making reference to the machine that they are putting in place now to kind of to track these people that are having these how many outstanding tickets and still keep rank up these whole heap of tickets and not pay. You understand? I think that there was something need to be put in place for that. But I want to talk about the fact that the government have the slogan when they say we need to arrive alive. That's the slogan. Arrive alive. And I just think it's a mitigation tactic to kind of steer away from the fact that these exorbitant fees is to trap people in a poverty. Straight.
Let me tell you why I said so. Let me tell you why I said that. So let's talk about the one that affect the motorcycles. See? All right. So those who didn't know, right? I'm going to just say it again. Before February 1st, riders could they could have basically be on the road with a learner's license, right? Officer Jermaine can attest to that and he can confirm that, right? They could have been on the road with learners. All right. When I look at the Traffic Act, it's 279 pages long. And I don't have time to read, and I love read, and I don't have no time to read that. See? No, the government is putting in a new Traffic Act, February 1st. See? Suddenly, on the people, and they're going to tell the riders, the motorcyclists, that coming February 1st, not even coming February 1st, yeah, because they pretty much
February
have,
1st.
no, let me say coming February 1st, meaning that probably about 2 days prior to, then probably here. Because 2 days prior to this thing blew up. And then say coming February 1st, you cannot ride with learners anymore. So what that means, it means that all who have learners before, you need to stop riding. See? Because you cannot get your license in 2 days' time. Now, I know of a rider who rider at work, have him ID, every single thing, bike fully in check, every single thing. Nice. The police stop him. And this is where we talk about discretion now. The police stop him. This is not a rider who is riding around picking people pocket. Because the police, them now go for them, the rider there. See? Them only have strength for who they know who have strength for. Because the rider, them what them foolishness that rob people and so. Them keep do that and nothing happen. But Officer Suleiman soon come take me on.
But that nothing to do with the law.
Hold on, no finish. When you stop a rider now, see? We're in our learners and improve to you, say, listen, I am in the process of getting a license. Everything else is okay. Insure everything else. You decide as an officer that you're going to take away this man's bike.
Take away, yes.
Leon. This is the man livelihood, the man bread. See? And you all up on you say you want to basically you are thinking about having a better society.
What is the law, Rory?
The law, hold on. I'm talking about the law that came in effect February 1st.
And it just sudden, sir.
It's sudden. They don't get no time.
That's what I was making reference to the turnaround time for people to respond to the law. And you see, even the car seat thing, I am saying
no. What
yes.
Raji mean saying not sudden? Raji, when am I not sudden? This was known when?
No, no, Rory. He said that from 2022 they said they were gonna phase these things in. But I am saying to you that with February 1st, all these things it just hit us like a cannon, brother. You understand? Because
I'm not sure.
It was at 79 pages when nobody now read.
I'm not sure if it was that sudden.
No,
why you think it should be allowed? Why you think it should be allowed that a man with a learners at work, a rider on a work with a learners? Nonsense.
All right, I don't know how sudden it was. I don't think it was that sudden as we're talking. I love if Jermaine could tell us how long, because I know this has been around and around for a while. I'm not
from last year.
You see the thing is, all right. So there are snippets of certain things, and you may not read or know about the entire thing, but there are certain things. If I'm a bike rider, the things that pertaining to the riding of the bike, I'm sure my ears would pick up on that. And that for one has been around and in circulation for a while. But as a society, we're very last minute. We don't take a lot of things seriously, and we are very lawless. Admit it, no matter how we want to say the police them this and the police them that. We're very, very lawless. We don't follow rules, and if there's a way that we can wiggle out of it, if we can find a way to wiggle out of it, we do not follow the law. And I don't think it is so much about putting laws in place as in the actual implementation, because there are always laws in place. We always know, say you're not supposed to run the red light, but do we do it? We still run the red light.
You know, so don't be no frightened though. You know, so the police them.
We still run the red light.
Where's Officer Jermaine? Officer Jermaine is here?
He's here.
We still run the red light. And we still do what we want to do. And some of these laws that were there from a long time, they're not being enforced. But my thing about it, right, is not so much about the collection and putting in this big fight. To be retrained, or our whole habits need to change in Jamaica.
Amen.
And hold on, Rory.
See, Raquel asked one good question then. How long we need for your drive
How long?
learners?
Exactly.
Because you can't just drive learners all this time and not expect if you go get a proper license.
Them man, they have learners from 10 years ago.
What I'm saying is this, guy. What I'm saying.
We do take the mix sometimes, Rory.
No,
and you know it's true. Especially as
true,
bike
man,
riders.
Don't worry. But I should worry. I think don't worry.
All right, go on.
Hold on,
officer.
Hold on for a second. You see the thing with the learners? My honestly think say a lot of bike riders got way too complacent.
Yes.
And I don't see the point of forever being on a learners mean that it seems or it can depict that you're still learning. You don't know how to ride. I mean, it can be viewed that way. That's not the truth. But the fact that you're on the learners, yes. After a while, common sense would probably say move over. Because you can't be a learners forever, because it's not really a license. If you look at a learners, it's not anything established. Anybody can go get a learners tomorrow morning, jump on a bike, and then no accident happen. Just as I said, not saying that that is going to happen, but having a learners, at least.
But Officer Jeremy, I believe we see this as like for me. No, for me, this is like a game of chess, And you have the government of all of the strong pieces, them all the queen and the king and all of the strong pieces. And we are just the pawns, and the public we're just little pawn. We have and they're just forcing these things on us. So that is how a lot of people are viewing the whole situation. Yeah, but I want to say this.
Nonsense.
Yeah?
Nonsense.
Nonsense. Leon, I'm saying nonsense here.
Yes. Nonsense.
No, I'm saying.
Forcing them on us, but whose benefit are they for?
But I am saying to you now, Leon, let's go back to the car seat then now. Let's just talk about the car seat. It's just nonsense.
No, the car seat
we have been as a country, we have been operating without this law. I don't know when it was stipulated somewhere, and then we decided to reinforce it. But I am saying that we have been operating for years if that law was in place before. without this car seat. All of a sudden, you just come and say, no, listen now. I want all of you people who have babies and children to just go and get car seats. No, remember, I know we're talking about a country, a third world country that has
taximen specifically.
no, but they're saying that they're talking about the mothers that them should have the car seat. That's all. The mothers need to have the car seat, and if they don't, the car seat is not in their car, then they go find the taxi man. I see a video the other day with this woman that walk her 2 children, and she said that no taxi no one carry her because she have 2 children and she have no car seat for putting at them, and she have to walk them to school. That is ridiculous. When have we reached to the stage?
A school ended go?
We go just no school, yeah. And I said the government did not sit down and say what are the repercussions if I put this in place? What can happen? Will this go
more money, right? More money.
No, yeah, money. Yeah,
what I want to find out, Joe. Are these things defined? Because I cannot speak definitively because I've not seen it. The age, has the age been defined? When it's a child restraint, does it mean car seat? Because it is not necessarily you have booster seats, you have a seat belt can be a restraint. So is it that it really means that it has to be a car seat, or your 12-year-old needs to be strapped down? Is it that what it means? Because we just quick and say, car seat. But when it says child restraint, does it mean that they're not seat belt?
Right? JC, you see that? Nothing is wrong with a car seat. Let me just say that. Car seat is good. If you put your child in a car seat in a taxi, I think that the child should pay a full fare as if an adult was sitting there. If that is the case, nothing is wrong. The problem is that children pay less than adults. So when you do that, you're cutting the revenue of the taxi driver. All right. If you put you're cutting revenue.
Hold on.
If you put
I agree with Rory on that because well, if a taxi man, right, needs to drive around with a car seat in his car, he's not going to pick up a child every other second.
Right.
And that space could translate to profit. Right?
Yeah.
And I believe there is something about restraint as opposed to a car seat because you don't expect a 12-year-old to be in a child seat. And in that case, a restraint such as a seat belt.
It can mean a booster seat.
Right. So the fact with the taxi and the child seat, I don't think that one should have been a little bit more discussed before that even came out, because with the context of how Jamaicans operate with taxis, I don't see that feasible for a taximan having not feasible having a child seat.
Right.
No,
if that's the case, what will it be said about what would it say about the JUTC then? Is that the JUTC needs to start having child seats as well?
And there's a JUTC not have child seat. Oh, that makes sense. Taxi about JUTC, the government arm, nothing have it. Yo,
go drink some water.
Drink some water, man. Drink some water. Right?
But
when we realized that we call it with the bike thing kind of set off Rory earlier because that kind of right. I'm not going back to that. But
we have to address
Jermaine's point. But to Jermaine's point, I agree. The law regarding the taximen and having the car seat, I think it's quite impractical, taking into consideration Jamaica's current public transportation when it comes to taxis, right? Because taxis can carry up to 5 different people, right? From 5 different households. So it's not like, in more developed countries where you have Uber, or even if you have public transportation, the taxis most times, or if not all the time, are exclusive to one customer at a time, right? So in that case, a car seat would work. But in the context of Jamaica's taxi service system, I think it needs more discussion.
If this law was in place back in the days when I was going to primary school, I would have never reached a school.
Which part of reach a school?
I would have never reached a school because I tell you, when the taxi man put one on them 2 on the front, 5 round at the back, and plus in the trunk in case of the station wagon. And you just hold it up because guess what? If you don't do that, you're not reaching because there were some taxi men who don't carry school children.
And that was so safe, JC. That was so safe. That was the safest journey you ever had.
We're going to stop what the realities in Jamaica.
We're too lawless. We're lawless.
No.
Hold on. Stick up it. Stick up it. I'm going to be realistic. All right, let me be realistic. Let me be realistic. You see, we're looking at it, the convenience of us packing up 6 people around our back and 2 around our front.
No.
And a car. Yes, that's exactly what you're saying. You're saying
That
you'd
is-
never get to
no,
see
that
it.
is-
But
no,
hold
that
on,
is
JC.
wrong. That is
Oh,
wrong.
that was wrong.
I agree with it, but I agree with it.
Okay, all right.
But I'm just telling you just the reality of what exists
yeah.
in Jamaica.
That's
I
an
don't
offense from
agree.
Yeah,
day
it
one.
does. It does exist.
Yeah.
But we need them to be.
That was an offense, though, Fabian.
We need them.
You can't have
Yeah.
6 on the back. No, before the new act, you couldn't
Yeah.
have
Yeah, man.
more than 3 at the back. But I'm talking about having a car outfitted with a car seat. I think, this is what I think. I think a car seat can be removed and put on as see fit. And I think if they put it in the middle to accommodate your child, which I think should be the case, because if I'm taking a taxi, I don't want to be safe and my child is not safe. See? And if anything should happen to me and me then me live and my child dead. See?
What
So I'm
worry?
just saying, hold on.
Go on, Tom,
I'm just
sorry.
saying, I don't have any problem. I don't have a problem if I'm taking a taxi and the taxi driver put out him car seat and say, put your child at this here. I mean, no, say, all right, this is a spot here that would have been reserved for another adult. My child now occupies this spot, so I have to pay full fare for this child.
And that's what do I do? What do I do in the long run, Rory?
Makes sense.
I have pressure what? Poor people. Again, I go pay
Oh,
for
you
two.
pressure poor people.
No, because listen. Hold on.
I mean, you have to pay for
Yeah,
the
she have to pay for
child.
2 fare. She have to pay for 2 fare. But what I'm gonna say to you, can I bring up this point here? Yeah. And then we look at some other questions.
Safety is
people are
important. I
asking.
just want to say that though.
This weekend,
thinking people
I
put their
was
whole goddamn
because
seatbelt.
I was thinking about the car seat thing. This weekend, I was pulled over by a police officer, and as of course, somebody tell me to follow a friend. My friend said to me, "Come fill out the car and around." I'm say, "All right, I SUV. I'm jumping at it." I'm say, "All right, let me go fill it out, And as me reach on the corner, so I'm say, "Let me press it a little bit." I'm start pressing. A police, me turn on him light and him pull me over. I'm say, "Lord God, don't make this be one of those racial profiling situations that happening in the US all the while." Me say, "All right, God, do no make it go that way there." We start fretting. That time I start thinking about the car seat situation because the kids them around the back, there's no car seat around there. So I say, Lord God, what is for me now? So same time, I see them police after them pull over behind you, they now come out of the car and you did a long I wonder what going on. You now come out of the car. I say, man, come out of the car. So I said, do me come on, black man. Do me come on, black man. Listen, no racist thing, but I said, do me come on, black man. Do me come on, black man. I mean, I say, yo, me see man, me see the door open, and it come like some horror movie, me see the door open. I said, and if no foot now come out, I see the door open. I looking at my room, I say, no foot now come out. I line up myself, I say, my hand up on the steering, come and say, you can't see me now. Now put my hand up on the steering, so I say, must see me hand up there, so come in, I want to shoot me now. And so me see the foot come down, I say, do me come black man. I see the footstep come down, and I say, Lord God. I look, I see the door lock, I say, one white man, I say, Jaja, what is for me? Same time, I see him go like this, and man, I'm seeing, so after I see the white man, I say, all right, do. I start praying on him, I say, God, let me him come and start this whole bag of foolishness. I see man go so reach on the inside, I say, Lord, I walk come out there, so. I say, Lord God, he must know, like he see one black man I carry, so I see him go so and drop in the inside, but he look, I want flash that, I say, come out, I say, all right, calm down. And he come up to me and he said, do you know you were doing 50 in a 35 zone? So I decided, I'm not going to behave like come. I say, some of them black people here. I say, I carry on and I say, why you pull me off and now I'll get an attitude. I say, I go and cooperate because I don't want a bullet. You understand? So he said, you're doing 50. I said, I didn't know that. Officer, I didn't know. I'm sorry. I apologize already, man. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. He said, all right. He said, can I get your, when he said, can I get your license? I said, boom, I'm going to reach down for him. I don't want to get a... I mean, know the situation where when the man reach down, then think I'm going to take out and step back and say, what you getting, what you trying to reach for?
You watch too much movie.
Yeah. In the back of my to watch my movie, I guess. But nobody have people who get shot like that. So, I said, oh my God, I should have put my license in my top pocket so could I reach over and give to him. I mean, no say down in my pocket, I have to go reach down. So, you know what I do, people? You know what I do? Me go so and push up me kind of seat up so you can see something. You can see what go on. Yeah, man. Me want me ease up so you can see what go on and me make it see inside and me go so and me say, see the officer. Me take it out nicely and give it to him. And the man and so when the man talk to me, all me I go so I say. Because I don't behave like no, I want behave like as I say no gangster.
Yeah.
No, I say professional persona. That's all I say. No, me not better be professional. You understand? But yeah, but it just goes to say that listen, man, you have to make sure say you abide by the law. Cause we run at the back and the kids them run and shine the light around there, anything for look on the car seat business and whatever.
You get a ticket though.
Oh, you get a nice one, yes.
You never ask where you work.
No, never ask me where. No, never ask me where. No, profile thing.
Hold on, what about Herbert say? Herbert is something right or something. I'm one Officer Jeremy, and if you can say anything about it, because I read it and I'm like, for real. He said the JUTC operate buses which under the law requires only the driver and the front seat passengers to wear seatbelts.
Which JUTC bus has a front seat for the passenger to have a seatbelt? I know the driver has a seatbelt, but which JUTC bus the front passenger is required to wear a seatbelt?
Oh, that would apply to the regular.
Well, that is true, Herbert. There's no front seat. But Jermaine, speak to that. How is it that we are in this bus? Because I remember taking JUTC bus. It was the most uncomfortable thing. I remember when I used to live in Harborview, I just let the bus come over. I'm going to roll on and rock on the bus. I said, the bus have me left, right, boom, bam, bam. See? And so roll on and so think to the people. Yes.
Well, with that, man. Everybody gets some of that. Everybody gets some of that.
And the driver, him safe, but none of we not safe. And that is okay. But the private person with them private vehicle,
target.
Right? You target at the person there. You ticket the person not having ticket. You ticket the person. You ticket the driver if the passenger not have ticket, have seatbelt. Explain that. How that fear and balance.
Because you're the driver. What do you mean?
No, I'm talking about JUTC.
You must be responsible.
JUTC.
All right, but hold on. I'm not glad you kind of bring that up. No, speaking to the old Road Traffic Act, right? The tickets, as I said, because this is so long, we're still being sensitized on the whole entire thing. On the old system, there's only a ticket to give the driver if the driver does not have a seatbelt. There's no ticket in the book that are in the system rather that is for the passenger, right? So in with that said, it speaks to the driver being the one that is supposed to be restrained or the child.
Right. Driver or the child, correct.
Yeah.
Right. So if you look in a coaster bus, there's really no seat belt per se, except the one at the front. Right? But again, I haven't come across anything in the new one as yet. So I can't quote that. But in the old system, the seatbelt ticket for 500 at the time that takes 2 points off is for the driver, not for the passenger. There's something that speaks and not ensuring passenger safety that can be used, but that's a whole different context. But there's nothing on the old system that speaks to.
But don't think about the JUTC bus them, what them I buy from Japan or wherever I come from. If they believe in safety so much that they are introducing all of these things, why them not get bus from long time what can protect people?
Well, the thing about it, no, and I probably can speak to this. The JUTC buses are governed, right, to a particular speed limit. The impact, so to speak, if something should happen, it will be a little bit depends. We don't know what the accident will be, but the chance of you being an accident and it's serious is lower as opposed to traveling in something like a coaster bus or a normal taxi which can go at any speed. It's a much smaller vehicle, so there's really nothing to cushion an impact per se. You'd have looked at some accidents with JTC. They're not that serious that would have caused serious harm. The most serious harm I've heard about on a JTC is that the glass being hit out and the stone catching somebody in the bus. So I would say to some degree, don't quote me, that there's a little bit more safety on the JOTC bus because of the size,
And
as
the
opposed
speed.
to something that is not regulated. As a normal transport vehicle, as I say, out and bad, up the road, out back, you would probably not see that. Don't say it not happening, probably you would not see that on a JOTC. So
Point taken. But I still think
right,
that the government, when I put in these things,
Mhm.
they're not thinking about how to properly police themselves. And the reason I say that is that who is policing the police? Right? These police, they believe that they are above the law.
Some of them.
Right? All right, fine. No, when I say these police, definitely I'm not talking about all police. Definitely not. I'm just talking
about a general statement.
There's a good amount, and I would say a large percentage of police who believe that they are above the law based on the power that they hold, right? And so there is nothing in place, and if you can speak to that, if you may, that really police the police. Are the police above the new laws February 1st? What if they are speeding? Who stopped them? Who can do? What can happen to the police?
All right. So all right, don't worry. So you're saying that the police vehicle itself speeding.
Police when
Yes.
I mark
Reckless driving. Don't want to stay in the traffic, so therefore them just step to the outside curve and just
do them thing.
Speed off.
Which you
do
can
them thing.
Prove. Right? Or a case where police is in a marked vehicle,
right,
exceeding the limit, the speed limit. What can I do as a citizen to ensure that this police is being penalized for breaking the act just as much as how he would do to me? Because I am part of that.
Sign speed gun.
So the thing about this now with the whole modernization of the Jamaica Constabulary Force is that the newer vehicles are equipped with tracking that also gives information when the vehicle breaches a particular speed.
That sounds good.
So the commanding officer of the division, if you were here, so whoever is in charge of that particular area will definitely get a notification about the speeding. So it can't just arbitrarily speed because they want to speed. So there are certain things in place on the organizations. Well, since the it's about the last 2 years. About the last 2 years, 2-3 years, has been there for a while.
Okay.
With the newer vehicles, that is. So the Outlander, the L200, all of the new vehicles that you see on the road today will be not has a tracking on it, where it can be tracked. The speed can also pick up conversation within the vehicle itself. So that the force itself is policing itself. So
okay, that sounds good.
Right. So if something should happen, there's some level of account. Like just like a plane would have a black box. The vehicle has a black box that information can be retrieved to see what was happening.
Is there any initiative to get body cams?
Body cam. What about body cam?
Body cams are here. Body cams are here already. If you it's been rolled, it's a phase rollout.
Yeah, it's a phase.
It's not widespread, but
hold on there. Carl is saying it's a different topic, and that is more police governance. I just want to address that. This is to say, with all these new laws that are coming out, how are we making sure that the police don't take advantage of these laws
and break the whole laws?
Exactly. So what is being put in place to make sure that they enforce the law and don't try to be bigger than the law?
You got cut off?
Exactly, and you got cut off. But while him join back, guys, that is interesting. In the body camera come in. You know, say corruption high in Jamaica, you know.
Yeah, it's high, man.
I want to know if because people we fight it, corruption, the corrupted people we fight it out. Now the same people them we bring it in now. We bring it in to make it seem.
Hold on, Rory. The question. Fabian was asking
on.
that question. Sorry, I got bumped off for a second. What was the question?
He was addressing. He was
Oh
addressing
no.
somebody.
I was just addressing somebody because we were discussing what is being put in place to govern the police when they try to enforce the law. So somebody was saying that sounds like a different topic.
But Roger was saying though.
Still the same thing.
Roger was saying, what if the police is responding to an emergency? Would that deal with the conversation in the black box, as I said, conversation picking up in the car?
No, man. If it's an emergency, the necessary communication would have already been made. So that if that's the case, that's already accounted for.
Okay. But
because if it's an emergency, some speeding will be involved. If it's an emergency.
So
Okay.
Officer German, I just want to know, is all these laws that they're trying to enforce, because we said it's going to be in phases, are there going to be some review? As I said, no, with the car seat and some other
yes, the car seat. Him say review it.
Yeah, it's just the car seat only.
All right, so
it's just the car seat only. That's what I want to know.
Well, I'm only aware of the car seat. No, I think Justin made a point about it earlier. It's being reviewed administratively, legislative arms of government and whatnot before it can be republished to say that
so
part
and that's
is
the only
officially
one that's
out.
been reviewed.
And that I am aware of at this point.
Okay. All
right. Somebody's actually beating
before
on me. If it's a Rory, hold on, it's a Rory. Oh, you never know, say body cam in the year. Say on the news that was announced. Apparently, I'm sorry, but I never know. So if somebody could enlighten me, right? When was the body cam become available in Jamaica? Because I've never heard of any officer I've ever seen with my two eyes, any officer, whether it's in a phase rollout or whatnot. Because if it's in a phase rollout, they expect 1 or 2 in a phase. Me never see it yet. And I've never heard of any news that, retrieve from the body cam of Officer XYZ. Me never get that news yet. So what, the body cam just sit down and want the body cam?
Have you been looking for the body cam? If you're not looking for it, you might not see it.
But worry. But the Jamaica, I don't believe the Jamaican public, everybody is aware of this body cam. You understand?
Officer Jermaine tell about the body cam.
Because he said they're here. But they're here. Could that mean they're in our country? Is it that they're here and the officers are there here and them?
No, man. Some persons have actually. That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. Me not look for police. I look for them body cam.
Me I look all the time.
No, but you were always looking.
No.
You were always looking for body cam.
Body cam can't hide like that.
I don't know. Just a black thing on them chest, you know.
Yeah.
Or wherever them position.
Anyway, me no know this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Me no know this.
Sorry, so there was a question about the body cam. That was the last thing I heard.
Yeah, man. Tell me about the body cam. Is it here actively being worn?
Actively. You see a lot of the traffic police officers equipped with it. It's a small square that is, well, depends on where it's comfortable for the police officer, but it's normally in the center of the chest area or to the left or right of the center.
How are these officers selected to actually have a body cam though? That's my thing.
Well, there is a training. It's a very short 5 minutes. It's just like operating a camera or a phone. It's nothing rocket science. And once you're certified to use a body camera, you have to go on duty with the body camera. It's not an option.
And if you remove it on duty, you can be
yeah, man, there must be some fine or something.
Right. Internal I wouldn't say punishment. But
some sanctions.
Discipline.
We're reading, Roger. We're reading.
Right. So so it must be utilized upon every interaction with
I never know that. Thank you for
that. So growing up in Jamaica, one of the most annoying thing was the car horns and the music. And I was aware of like the silent zone, them like maybe in front of school and maybe hospital, I'm not sure. But me see on the new one, $5,000 for making noise with the car horn in a silent zone. Has that ever been enforced? Anybody ever getting a ticket for that yet? Or because that is one of the most annoying things. Living in England right now, I can't remember the last time I heard a car horn.
They don't use horn in England, man.
They use car horn for no reason.
No reason at
well,
all. Don't use it. You know?
So you wake up and people make music with it, pa 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 pa, pa, you know, like that type of thing there. Every town area go pay a car horn and loud music.
But that's a question. Define what is
that being policed?
I mean, I said they must have decibels. That's the thing.
And the muffler them. And the loud muffler them.
All right, good. All right, so we recently acquired an equipment that will be able to measure the decibel.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and you can go if you want to look at it. You know, if you want to look at it, I implore you guys to go on the Jamaica Constabulary Force page, and you see everything there. You go on it, you see the decibel meter. Speaks to the technology that the force is using. So a police can say, stop me and say, listen, your bike loud, you know, or your car loud or whatever load. I mean, there is technology there, you know, to verify that, hey, and me say it loud, you know, and this say it loud, you know.
What I heard though, I was watching this interview on the TV with somebody from, I think it was a Bikers Association or something, and he's saying what is in the act, that decibel that is in the act is actually lower than the average startup sound of a bike. So you were saying that probably needs to be reviewed. I don't know because I don't know about bikes, but he's saying that decibel, that is like the sound of a blow dryer. I think that's what he was saying. The decibel that they have in law is like the sound of a blow dryer, and the average bike is louder than that. So I don't know. That is based on the interview.
Sorry,
that I was
Justin, if you don't mind
to.
me asking, you're here in Jamaica, right?
Yes.
Okay. You know, and I think we maybe make this bad for ourselves while this is actually on the books now. Because what I have seen and heard and, you know, in the know of is that persons normally alter the bikes to make a load.
Besides alteration,
the normal sound of the bike
is normal sound of the bike is louder than the decibel that they have in the act. This was an interview that I was watching on Small Jamaica.
That should be reviewed.
He was bringing that point up. Yeah, because he's saying that decibel is really low.
So it still boils down to the officer that's saying, we feel the bike too loud, pretty much.
Or he can use the law. He can use the law because if the law is lower than what a normal bike is, he's with it because he's gonna show your bike is going higher than what the law is saying. So the law probably needs to be reviewed.
No, that needs to be reviewed. If the decibel is of a blow dryer, that needs to be. I'm trying to find the exact decibels right now. I saw it earlier.
You guys hear about this smoke thing? Because I was talking to our friend last time.
Yes, ganja.
Come on, we get ticket, man.
Which one? The
ganja or the smoke from the exhaust pipe.
Exhaust. That one we're talking about.
Oh.
Yes, there's something there that says
that. Funny enough. Somebody comments on that and say if the government fix the JUTs yet.
One time they be a JUTs, I try to look over to the man. The man that kill me, man.
Smoke.
But I want to say something. And the government is putting in all of these things, right? And they are holding us accountable for breaking these newly implemented laws. What I want to know, see, who is holding the government accountable?
We know that you're going to do.
Hold on, before you say that, you know, just to let you know, and I'm just using, again, not picking any on anybody. I'm just using JTC as an example. JTC is not immune to tickets.
It's not immune. Okay, they get tickets.
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
They're not immune to tickets.
Have you ever write a ticket for a JUTC? Tell me the truth.
I prefer not to answer that one.
No comments.
Okay, so we know so they get ticket, but we know so they never get ticket. Anyway, so watch this now. I want to know who hold the government accountable. When me a drive and drop in a one ditch and my front end mash up, me a pay tax. Me a pay tax, you know. And me can't go to the government and say, yo, fix. Me need
Oh
some
my God.
compensation. Me need some compensation for my vehicle. You are charging me how much tax? You're charging me how much fine? Say me can't do this with me car, me can't do that with me car. But the moment I'm getting this money, I'm expect to drive on good road. And you are giving me ditch everywhere me turn, bumpy road. We in Jamaica spend money per front end. Front end business are big business in Jamaica.
Tire
business are big business. And when me hear my friend them, when me hear Leon saying never buy a front end party.
Never buy a tire.
Never buy a shocks.
No, yeah, true, but spend money per front end in a dem country, none at all.
So,
that is. But
all right, so in England, if there's a pothole in the road, like a proper pothole, I'm dropping my tire burst or something to my car, the council have to go fix it. So we pay what we call council tax.
Council. I was just about to go to that. You guys pay council tax, so that should be covered.
Yeah. In Jamaica, you can't go to somebody to fix my. Hold on, talk again. Say it again, Lord.
No, I don't matter. Matter about England.
England.
Oh.
You want to find out where they're hurry.
Now we find the tax. But hey, we're going to let. We're finding him.
No, but that when you mention that what kind of worms, because there is no way you're going to find answers for that question, right? So,
but look what you say.
But me see,
the government
me see,
me
see on social media.
But hold on, Leon, sorry for cutting. You know that when I was living in England and I realized that we have so many different
taxes,
so many different monies you have to pay if you get the car actually running in Jamaica. In England, we only play what? Insurance and road tax,
road license, road tax,
MOT.
Yeah, and over in Jamaica, you have so many different. You have to license your vehicle, you have to pay the insurance, of course. You have to pay fitness. I mean, I say, why you have
fitness is similar to what for MOT.
It's the same thing,
But the
MOT and fitness is the same thing.
But the MOT though, the MOT, by the way, people, it's not something that you pay a lot of money for. No, so you just go and just tell us your car all right and whatever, and you're back on the road.
No. Then check the car.
But
depends.
But let's talk about in the US. We don't pay those things. I don't pay MOT. I don't pay fitness. Let's drive. Two things me pay. Me pay insurance and me pay fee. Me pay
the stick up on the license plate.
Yeah, me tag. That's all. And if you
a rich country that look at them give you a smooth road. Look at them give you a smooth road. And we are
no road, and everywhere the road smooth, in the US.
Well, enough place smooth, enough place. Which part of Jamaica? Me say even good water no me depend. And I saw my vehicle and I said, Jesus Christ. And that's supposed to be smooth road. Come on. The country here, then tax we out like wow. And yet they not do nothing with tax money. They can't give you good. What am I doing with the money? You know what I always say? And this may be a different discussion. I say if
it is a different discussion.
If the government want to really make money from tax, all of these fines, see? Because I tell you all of these fines is just a way of padding up funds, because they would have not been getting enough, quote unquote, enough from income tax, because there are so many underground transactions that take place. And also a lot of trade people don't file tax. The barbers, the taxi men, all of them don't file tax. See? They not pay income tax. Only people who work at 9 to 5 or some corporate, then take out the income tax. See? So the government now say, all right, we're going to charge out, then go toll to make more money. But I tell you this, if the government's serious, and if everybody from the government are listening, if they're serious and want to, we will leave our income tax alone. Don't trouble our income. No, get rid of income tax completely. See?
So Rory, so basically,
so they better use pay teachers and people.
No, move the income tax completely.
Yeah, man. I understand what Rory said. So let's go to indirect.
Push it to GCT.
Consumption tax.
And move from 15% consumption to, let's say, about 20%, 22. So what happens is that
it was at 20.
More than 20. The people about them 9 to 5, they will get their full gross pay in them bank, but they come back out in a GCT. And then the people who not file tax,
Still have a pay.
they have to pay because they have to
Everybody has to pay. Everybody has to pay.
Yeah, man, that makes sense. That kind of makes sense. Yeah, you know, you can't avoid that. You couldn't avoid that.
You can't avoid it.
No, can't avoid it.
So move from direct taxation to indirect taxation.
You feel want to put it that way?
Yeah. Right. So all of these fines when they come up, you know,
they wouldn't have to be so high. They wouldn't have to be so high.
They wouldn't be so high. No, they think it is curbing behavior, but I think it's a short-term thing. I think it's like a band-aid thing. They might put that right now, because people right now, yes, people are talking about it now, but end of the day, it's going to go as Jason said earlier. You have to get to the root of it. You have to get people's mindset, and Gwyneth said earlier too. The mindset of people have to change. See, you imposing how?
Yes. Start from the family.
We're saying it have to change, but how? What do we think is a method that should be used to make these changes? Yes,
it starts from the family.
Yeah, and also, as we said, I think things when they roll out things, as I say, in phases and gradually, let the people kind of start embrace it. You know, just suddenly push things down people's throat like that. You understand? Just do it over.
Invest in technology.
Listen, I would think that they should, as well as say, invest in technology. Because even though we have good road and good cars and everything, people tend to break the law still. But because of the amount of cameras where they're everywhere, we tend to obey. Because like when me I go work, me speed in a little beat them.
Between.
But then you know exactly where the cameras them there, which is the point of where you have a lot of different accidents and so. So you have them the road covered by cameras. And not only one spot, you have what them call average speed camera, where take the average speed between certain distance. You can't speed after you pass the camera and say, oh, I'm going to speed us and then reach up at the next camera and slow down. Because it's like a workout and say, oh, you're not going to drive 30 miles per hour. I go 40, 50. Because there's no way you should can reach down there. So based on the time you pass, them bad.
Yeah, but man.
You will just...
Can I say something, guys? Technology, yes, but I don't think the technology will answer the underlying problem, right? Because it's a mindset that needs to be changed.
But after a while,
that's what I said to you.
Mindset.
But with technology, guys, we have seen it. We have advanced in technologies let's say we advanced significantly over the last 2 decades, right? And what you have seen an increase in cybercrime, right? So it's not necessarily that the mindset is being changed. It's just that people finding new avenue in going around the system, right? So we need to address the mindset from the go.
But I will go back to what I said earlier now about.
Oh, you're just a mindset, Ryan.
No, I say
give people an opportunity.
Before, the phases, as I was saying earlier, technology will be a part of the phase, and I'm only saying that the phase part because you guys, when you say invest in technology, that would be a part of the phase, you know, Leon. But people can't just grab onto things so suddenly. That's what I'm saying. People have to take a little time and warm up to something. And Jamaicans not accept change readily so quick. It takes time. So I am saying, so me see the importance of this car seat thing. Not saying me not knock it, you know, but it's just that you just suddenly just put it on people so suddenly. You have to find ways and means of how you.
And poor people always get affected, right?
Yeah, and the poor, and you have to always think about the poor. Always when you put things in place, think about the poor. How will this affect the poor? Because if you put pressure upon the poor, you go have more.
What are them the most in an accident?
You go have more rioting. You go have You're not going to narrow them.
Are them the most in an accident?
Not true. All right.
Hold on. Remember, even in first world country, they have to have a car seat in the vehicle. To me, Jamaicans are just lawless. And no matter how much time you give them, it's still not going to change.
My son, 10-year-old, and him tall almost like me, and him in a car seat, you know?
Jamaicans don't like law. Jamaicans wait for the last minute. So, you see, if you give them 2 years, no matter what, it's the culture. The culture is what's wrong.
Officer German, I understand what you're saying, but if you continually say this, then we won't have any change. You have to as me say, give it them in small increments. Just give them little by little. You understand? Just give them it one time.
But
and if you want
one
change,
time though, right?
you can't just say because Jamaica. But Fabian, you can't just say, oh, Jamaicans lawless and we not go. Oh, you have to do
We
something.
are
You have to do
lawless
little.
because
We
they
do,
could have
we
known
are.
a year ago.
Me love
We
the
could have
laugh.
known about it 1 year ago. We go
Still
come to
now,
the
but
time when it
But-
go
but
in
guess what?
implement
But
and we
guess
say,
what? But
oh, we
Fabian-
never did know this and we
No,
never
but
know
still
that.
find
That
them.
is just
but,
how we are.
But what may I say? But you still find them. Still find them over a period of time. But still continue to find them until eventually you start
Arlene
behavior.
said they knew about it 6 months ago.
Me never know about it.
No, me never
Well,
know about it either.
what me think they should have done?
You don't
see
live
like
in
how-
Jamaica, so stop talking like you live in
You see like
Jamaica.
how we did have
Oh,
when they
bro,
not change
Jamaica.
from a change to metric.
You right.
When they not change to metric, them have this thing where them call GIS on TV where every week
Nobody
or
watch
so
that.
you have people
Nobody watch
inform
it.
people.
5 p.m. 5 p.m.
Well,
evening
well,
time. Yeah.
Then if you put on it on that, so whether they want to watch it or not, they say you go get your
Right.
new information.
Yeah, man.
And so-
Yeah, man.
you know,
Keep
so-
reminding
you
the
know,
people.
say-
them.
Hold on, Officer
Something like-
Jeremy. Go on.
Something like that was being done, because this new road traffic,
Right.
I gotta know. It has been said for the last 2 years. We keep hearing about this new road traffic that keep being passed in Parliament. So it's not like say it's an overnight
In
wonder.
Parliament.
Why?
But in Parliament,
Some
when the people
of
know the
it-
details.
True. Some of
Yeah.
it took me by surprise as well.
Yeah.
And you in the,
Some of it
and
took
you
me
in
back.
the force. All right. Okay. Thank you for
Some
that.
of it.
Thank you. Yeah, no, hold on.
Make him finish now. Make him finish.
Finish.
Hold
Make
on,
him
hold on,
finish.
hold on. Him
Make him finish.
Yeah, man. Some of it
Officer.
took me by surprise because you see, if you look at it, and I think we even said it, 249 pages.
Exactly.
Comparing that, the average person or any typical person not going to sit and read 249 unless this is their bread and butter, right?
Yeah.
It some additional educational awareness could have been done, yes, and I say that without apology, that it should have been done. But again, we can educate from now till tomorrow, till next year, next century. At the end of the day, again, and this is what we see from time to time, when the appointed time comes, Jamaicans like, oh, tomorrow, I'm gonna go do this now. Just like the new road traffic. Hold on, man.
Hey.
Everybody, hold
That's
on.
true.
The new thing come in, and everybody bungled up on the court and the tax office or wherever trying to pay the day before the thing comes in. Just like how they're saying that
Oh,
it's
Jason.
to get a learners a few years ago, you just go to the tax office, buy the thing, go up by the depot, pay the fee, fill out the form, boom, you have a learners, right?
Mhm.
And them say, okay, you have to do a test. Everybody bungle up the day before the change to get the learners because they never wanted to do go the new road. So again, no matter how much notice there is, and don't, well, let me say this as well. Even when that happened, when you could just go and get it, I was also in the process of going to bungle up and get the learners at the time. However, we are just a last minute people. That's just it.
But officer, can I just say this though? Let
Go
me
ahead.
just talk about the car seat again. Say
Mhm.
we are last minute people. We know we are last minute. But at the end of the day, I am saying if I was supposed to implement, let's just put myself as the government now. I'm going to
Right.
implement something like a car seat. This is how I would do it. I would say, okay, then me want the people move over. I said 6 months. Constantly, I put it on the wherever the JIS.
You're
or
tired to
whatever.
go buy a car seat.
And if your business now, here, and the thing about it, I would not start off with a high fee as well. But I start
Right.
off with something. We say, all right, even if we catch a taxi man, I say, oh, $500 now. He say, okay, and then eventually, you gradually say, okay, bump it up. Over a year, I say, okay, $1,000. People go start say, well, on there, this thing I go up, man. If you get my car seat, man, you know.
True,
And
true,
that's
that's
how
true.
you, so you work it in to the and the people will say, okay, this thing's serious. But you know, just come and just
Can I give a response to that? Right.
Yeah, man. Yeah. What again?
Can I give a response to that? So
Go ahead, go
to your
ahead.
suggestion, some people may say that and say, why this cheap, You know what, me take a fine every time, police.
No,
right?
man, Greeny.
It's all about the mindset, and we have
Greeny,
seen it.
that-
History has
what-
shown us that no matter how the information has been presented to us, right, and fed to us, last minute, as
But
Officer
Greeny,
Jermaine
But
said,
Greeny,
right?
what me say?
Last
Increase it over time, Greeny. Didn't I say that? So people will see
No, but
500 and say, oh, it get
hold on now. I agree
Yeah.
with both Ryan and Grinny on this. Yes, it could be done over a face basis. Sorry. Grinny also said that it can be viewed as small fee. me pay that. It can be viewed as that. Can be viewed both ways. So I have to agree with it upon both of it. Both. So it if me face a teen, it start at 500, nobody's gonna get a car seat.
No.
Nobody's gonna get a car seat.
You just pay that
How much
when
money
police
that-
catch me.
Nobody is good. So our car seat.
Well-
So but the
Well-
interesting thing about this is I would like to see some statistical data from the road safety unit to say how many car accidents involve a child
Good point.
that
Good
needs
point.
to be
That
restrained.
needed to be
Yes,
restrained.
man.
So
In public transportation.
you see the thing about it is, in everything that you do, a research needs to come about
Needs to be
as to
measured-
why
measured.
this is
Yeah.
needed or why it needs to be implemented.
Amen, sir.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't. This was me speaking from my point of view. I can't tell. Last I heard a child, with a toddler in a seat, whatever kind of restraint system, died in a car crash. Probably me not listen properly, or my ears not connect to the ground, but me not hear this a lot. It happens. It happens, but me not hear it widespread. So what I'm trying to say, what is the motive
The groans,
behind the
yeah.
child is that we're trying to be aligned with more international best practices
But internationally, they don't have child seat fine. They don't have child
Yeah,
seat
but
fine.
you have to think about the mannerism of Jamaicans, the type of way we drive. How high is our road accidents currently? Look
But
at how reckless people are driving as well. We're talking about these robot taxis where people pitney and fling them left, right, center just for reach for one location for head back to the other location. So
For
they can make
$100.
more money through the
That is why
or 150.
But
Or
Fabian, that is why that leads me to only think that their ulterior motives are there's a different agenda. That is what is caused me to lead that this is not that the agenda that they are putting out there is not. There's a hidden agenda basically. That is what I.
That is
what I'm deducing from it.
This fine is not to curb
it's
behavior.
not. No, that's what I deduce from it. You understand? It is more to let me say pressure
Make money?
the people them pocket.
Yo, you know who
But
happy
think-
we
but think-
we have 3 minutes, 2 minutes left, guys. Go ahead, Leon.
I mean, I don't really think it's more of a make money. I think them look at international practices as well.
Best practice, right?
And adapting
Where
them
is that?
because
Where is it happening? Where is it happening like that? Where you
where you
saying
talk?
about
You talk about car seat. Car seats.
Not
In
like
the
how
UK,
we
you
have-
have
No, not like how it work in a Jamaica. How we run the taxi system in a Jamaica is not the same way here in the UK.
yeah. Them
or
now
in the
look.
US.
Them now look at the taxi system
man.
and how
No,
it operates.
man.
They're looking
No,
at this. They're looking at this safety of protecting
the
children
child.
who can make decisions in how them going and whatever. So I think them I look at that. Them not really think about how the whole process work. Yeah, make people cry out and say, "Boy, I can't work this way," and then they review it and then come up with the best practice where will suit Jamaica itself.
Then go review that. Go review that. That's all me I say.
Well, guess what?
Yeah.
In everything, guys, at the end of the day, when you put in any new law or policy, there will always be opposition. That's how it works, right? And I can say this from personal experience. See? Put in something, and what you have to do, you have to say, okay, let me review it and see if it still makes sense, right? If it doesn't, you scrap it. If it half makes sense, you cut half and keep half. Or if it fully makes sense, you just say, listen, it is what it is. But what I think needs to happen right now is a proper review of the entire thing, right?
Why the entire thing?
I think
No. Just you're talking about the fines or the fines as well.
The fines as well. Yeah.
The fines, yeah. Me think they review the fines plus as we said, and mainly the car seat. The other ones, them.
Increase the fines.
No,
because
what I'm saying that the fines will not. All right. So these things, I'm telling you, these things may come in effect because they may have seen how much they collected from outstanding tickets. And when I say, guys,
make the people start obey the law. If you know, say you have to go pay 10 grand because you use your phone, well, don't use a phone. If you can't afford it, don't use a phone.
Leon, it's like you telling people they're going to get life in prison if they then sell drugs. You know, tap them from selling drugs and kill people. What I'm saying is...
then make them go jail then.
No, but what I know. if the mindset is there, the mindset is there. We know the mindset. You think they can tell a scammer, say, okay, we increase the time spent in prison for the next 10 years to stop scamming, go stop scamming. Nah, stop scam. See,
when them change the law and put in, say, if them catch me with my mobile phone, me I go pay £1,000. From that the time I use my phone again.
Everybody stop. Everybody stop.
No,
I never seen nobody.
But Leon, you need to understand, that first world countries respond are to because I remember the first time they put the law, so you can't.
But me a Jamaican.
Public spaces, and Jamaicans, when did they the first time they said if you're caught smoking in public places, you're gonna receive a hefty fine. I mean, I tell you, every single British they stop smoke. I said, well, and I mean, no British people about them smoke.
As a matter of fact,
when we just go England, I said, wait, them people don't stop smoke. So I mean, no, they don't smoke.
Funny enough. When Jamaicans go overseas, they're more conform with the law.
Conform to the law. Yes, I truth.
Because there's enforcement. You have enforcement in Jamaica.
Exactly.
Corruption. The law is there. And if you know somebody who knows somebody, you can get out. So why do you need to conform?
The corruption then, Jason. Corruption.
But you see, the thing is, you see, no matter how much the fine is at the prison time, as somebody said, I'm not sure who said it, people always do it, right? No matter how much the fine.
But exactly.
I'm sure. Hold on, I'm sure Jean Panton was aware of what you're doing, but she still did it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So
I'm sorry. I don't think the 100% upstairs. I think the 100 upstairs.
I mean, Jared, man. Jared.
To Jason, let me just say this quickly. Jason point, the enforcement is one factor, and to Leon, paying £1,000, you're gonna stop. Trust me. After 6 months, you're gonna get comfortable and start doing it again. It's a mindset. It's a mindset. You see, once we get comfortable with what we're doing, we're just gonna revert if you don't have that fundamental mindset of just adhering to the law.
Exactly.
No, but hold on. When you say about do it again, well, Leon, when you say Vinny say about do it again, because
they never catch me, but
let me tell you what. No, me know say there are certain areas where there is a camera. When me just got England, make a ticket in my week, And me say, no man, them people are them serious with this ticket thing. So what me do now? Me decide to I have to go confirm because guess what? Them set it up to make sure say guess what? Me pay and me I try to escape what I pay into. Me can't escape. You understand?
Because did that stop you from speeding at all? Or you just know, say, all right,
man, stop me. Listen, man,
stop me too.
You just say speed over the weekend.
Well, man.
Not this one.
Wait, no, man.
America,
different country, me there. You understand? You see, there are no camera here, so if you stop me, yes, police are pull over in the US. That's all the way. So that different. Me speed same way and drive and hope the police around the corner. When I drive to when me drive green, when me know where the police them there, me slow down there so. Because I make sure so me put in my car visit. There's a traffic, there's a police ahead. I me say okay, good. I make sure so me have up on my Bluetooth for hearing. But in England, brother, they might catch me too much. So me decide say you know what.
So Ryan, let me add to that, Ryan. So in Jamaica, they use this Waze app. They use the Waze app.
Yeah.
Correctly. Yeah. And they tell them where the police them.
Waze me use, yeah.
Waze does that in Jamaica?
Yeah, man. Because it's reported to know. It's just somebody. True.
No, man. I download it right now.
The police want to break the law. You see the police want to break the law.
No. Need to know then.
Hold on, guys. Waze is an interactive app. So Waze is a user that has to report that the police is at the spot.
Exactly.
Yes, so everybody go download Waze now.
No. I'll explain that at a later time. Why I would be interested to test if that work, but not on this.
Officer Jermaine is just asking for a friend, man.
No. Listen. If I was the police right now, me don't know that the app. I mean, I set the chop further down with me there. I understand. Me have a friend never set the chop. Me have a friend never say up this one.
I feel messed up right now. So
you know, so the taxi man have a WhatsApp group and everything them them report on the WhatsApp. So if it's on a road where no one for just taxi alone, and one man in police and transport work, check if it's a one taxi on the road, otherwise none whatsoever. That's just how it goes.
Them
You know?
send the message reach.
Yeah, man.
And that's true, man. I know. I remember one time where I worked and I would have a taxi operators to go up there and I miss one taxi pass. I think the transport authority was on the road, and believe you me, officer, when they one police part one of the taxi driver them pass, the rest of the taxi driver them start turn back, When me a driver, I say, taxi, everybody a turn back, Nobody now drive up there, because they know them papers not right and them things not straight. You understand?
But back to me, I said though, right? When you talk about the enforcement, I said 6 months after, people go right back to them old behavior. Them don't act right now because it just come in. The reason.
Hold on, Roy. Quick, just a quick point. I think at the start of the discussion, there was something about catching persons with tickets. There's a system being implemented, and after a period of time of demerit points, the Island Traffic Authority will automatically render the license suspended.
Okay.
I think a question like that was asked earlier.
So the 200 ticket can't happen again.
No, the system will automatically render the license suspended.
For how long?
Until them pay up.
For how long?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, I was just looking at it just now. Give me one second.
Because it depends. Some places are 1 year and 2 years.
One thing if you know though, Granny. One thing if you know, if me ever get a £1,000 ticket and I know circumstance that I got them again. That's why I think the ticket in Jamaica too cheap. I don't think if a review.
Yeah,
because people will know say, yo, me can't go pay $100,000 or $50,000. Me not pay that.
But
then again,
you're not
people not pay at all.
But that don't mean you're not go speed again.
Yeah, people not do it at all, Leon.
If you have, people not pay it at all. If you have a system in place like what the officer say, we render them license void or suspended. So when they get catch with a suspended license that I want next $100,000 again, you know, say, yo, me can't deal with this.
Right.
No, them need to get lock up. Not just suspended license.
No,
it needs to be a warrant out for them.
Take with the vehicle.
Suspended license, you have to
take with the vehicle right there. Call the record and take up the vehicle. That is where I said, call the record.
But they are doing that.
They've been doing that. They're not changing. Them to get locked up.
Funny enough. Let me share a story. Let me share something with you. There was something in the newspaper the other day, whether the newspaper or the TV, whichever one it was. There was this bus driver that racked up over $500,000 in tickets. Don't quote me. Could be a bus or a taxi driver.
Yeah.
And the man said prefer to the time than pay the ticket. So
wow.
I know honestly.
Yeah,
The thinking is dynamic. Somebody might say, yeah, give me a ticket. No, me have 30 days to pay it. Me run some trip and pay that back. Me no business. Or someone say me just do the time. You understand? Or take on my license, me find somewhere to do.
That's
So,
why I'm saying. Guys, hold on. I never finished what I said a while ago. And it's the law. What I'm saying, the only way this can change. Somebody tune in. I have some friends that work up in the government. Tune in. Let me tell you what I'm going to tell them this. Tell them this. See? You see, the only way the law, the mindset are going to change and people are going to uphold the law is when the people believe in the system, that the system work. See? You see why you think Ryan and Leon, so by the time I talk foolish, you know I mean that, But when we get serious, Why you think Ryan and Leon and Grinny, right? They don't fear better confirm. But them in the States and UK, why you think they confirm? They confirm to the system, that the system work. When we say the system work, meaning that whenever there's
every route pan out,
they are likely going to get caught either camera. When they get caught, they get a mail with a ticket that they have to pay.
So Rory, are you trying to say everything should be linked, and no matter where you go, it's always going to be linked? And
yes, man.
Officer, now you talk about this already 2 years ago. So I tell people, I say, no, maybe I talk about this 2 years ago. Say everything in Jamaica. And you remember the conversation? I know you remember it. And you will tell me, say it at work. I say everything in Jamaica must be linked in order for this thing work. I
think the national identification system should fix some of this whenever.
Well, let's hope.
Okay.
Because I cannot go to the police station and report a crime, or somebody hit me on the back and report it, and you put in our logbook. Officer, remember that conversation we had 2 years ago? That book was nobody open up again.
Hey, hold on. You know that at the court office, them still are right.
A book.
Them still right. Book. You go there and they're still writing.
But Rory, update on that, and again, it's a part of the government certification thing, ISO 9001. They're implementing an ebook now, as entered using the books. If you go like do in the park, Matt's Corner, you will see that's where the phase roll out. It has to be beta tested before it can actually go about. So some aspects of that is being done, and even recently I've seen something about uniform changes. Some modernization stuff are in the pipeline. We just hope that it's not stuck in the pipeline. It actually comes out of the pipeline.
Yeah, man,
like typical government stuff. But anyways,
based on what Arlene said about the littering and then something there. Me used to live in Spanish Town just before me come to England, and me around to live at the same place, Norwich. Place clean and pretty, man.
Clean.
And you never feel like a foreigner. You feel like a heaven. Place nice and clean.
Yes, Spanish Town is it? Spanish Town.
Yeah, me used to live at Spanish Town before me come to England. So
no man, which place is a nice and pretty? Is it Spanish Town or England?
No man.
England.
But that got to
which one I live? So when I finish, so I say no. I move and live at other place now. When me the first come here, I used to see rubbish on the ground. And I say, move, come on, this a dirty place, man. Yeah, I see rubbish and stuff. But over the past year, the place clean again. So I wonder, what go on? The other day, I met the barber. And the barber say, yo, I cut me forward and in go to do and Jamaican man too, you know. And he smoke a cigarette and then he just drop the butt. When me look, some people may sit up across the road for a long time, like them have discussion. A police, them, you know. Over there in a plain clothes with them camera, because them pass and see the cigarette butt all the time. And them say, oh, all right. So then come with them camera and set up across the road. And then just come over and say, writing a ticket. And they ask me name and say, but they know name and everything already. And then give me a ticket for 100 odd pound, I say 120 pound. And then I have to go out there go pick you up on top of it. You know? And then everybody will do that overtime, get ticket. I see all the ladies sit down in her car, smoke and just stray outside. And people just swoop down on her, 120 pound. I feel I want to know.
And that's what I say, Leon. That is why I'm at the law system has to work. You have to enforce them. When I enforce the system, it means if you are speed, right, and you get stopped, you can't just easily pay off the man and buy $2.
Yeah, no. I'm gone.
No drink, no involved. No drink, no involved.
When Ryan, the police stopped Ryan, the white man stopped Ryan 2 days ago. Ryan couldn't come out of that, you know. Ryan only can be at the man mercy. See? Ryan cannot just say, I squeeze him, I drinks, but I give us 500 and speed off again. That's why I say, the system of if the body cam, right, have some things in place.
Well, I'm accountable, man.
Where once, I started thinking about me later talk about them have these camera was scan the license and anything it pick up, it basically writes your ticket.
Them things that take time, Rory. Remember, you can't really call a first World Cup.
Stop that.
Come on, man.
Well, let me talk. You sound just like a typical Jamaican. All
right.
Listen, what I'm saying, see? Jamaicans have a tendency, and this is where I get passionate now, because this is something I believe it in a previous employment and thing. Jamaicans have a tendency to think, because we're a third world country, we can't have good things. And we're not going to invest money in good things and invest in foolishness. Let me say something. Nobody, you see, it's the people who are consultations to these government officials, them not do a good job. That's what I think. See? Because we're going to put their money in a foolishness. Let me tell you something. These technology we are talking about, they are not.
$1 million for them.
No. They build upon some, we call them something, the pie. Raspberry Pi thingy where them attached to whatever, and it can, you know, metabolian. And a
Yeah, man.
simple technology.
Phases. What me say about phases? Phases, or phases.
Put it on a car, and you can drive around. The fact of the matter is that the government already have something that can read license plate. Officer German can tell you. So all he needs to do is read something about drive around, scan and read them, and punch them through the system or whatever. That takes that now take $1 billion. Me not ask you. Me not say.
Right.
All right, there's a system in place, but I don't think it's been properly utilized.
Implemented.
You know, in Jamaica, they say solving crime pays. Sometimes we don't really necessarily have the will to solve crime in Jamaica because crime pays. And I'm just gonna say that some of the things we really do not have the will to take out of Jamaica because crime actually pays.
People benefit from it.
People benefit.
Police now go push them so that police have money from bribing.
And be fair, the police them not get no money. The police them not get no money. Pay the people
that is
them
where
well.
the problem is exactly.
Pay the people them well. Start there. Make and the only say okay, all right, we're putting in and we're going ticket you for this. Make the speed limit make sense. Cause you talk about the 80, you talk about the 80 per highway 2000. Me, it don't make no sense to me. No highway, the north-south highway.
It makes sense to me.
It does not make any sense.
It makes sense to me.
It does not make any sense.
You want the 100 odd going down that the hill is like this.
No.
Not 100 highway is 80 kilometers. But guess what, guys? We're not going to the road there.
No, but
we're going to finish that. So we're going to cut it off. So
take the money out of crime. Take the money out of crime.
Yeah, I think a part
I think when they review the act, we can
come back.
Have a part 2 and look at some of what they have
Jesse
changed.
make a good point with the police salary. I think that
I
has a lot
so
to do with corruption.
That is what caused it. That's what caused it. The root cause,
Root cause,
pay the people
the salary.
enough. You know, that is why we have the brain drain as well, why a lot of teachers even leave and go overseas. Because we don't pay teachers enough.
When they did at high school, we used to say we were on bike police because we don't make enough money.
You alone, Leah.
You alone, sir.
I can't see how that line came about.
No, sir.
Anyway, people, we have to call it a wrap. Yep. Yeah, big up everybody who joined this afternoon. Of course, Officer German, big up yourself. Thank you again for joining us this afternoon and sharing your thoughts on this new road traffic act. Of course, if there is a part 2, we will let you guys know what's up. But definitely, we need the car seat thing to be reviewed so that people and the poor people them we are complaining. Worry, I say something. The poor people them.
The first world country where we have fight child.
And as me always say, Jamaica get enough talking. We are getting enough talking still. We not top enough talking. But guess what? Yeah. We love Jamaica same way. Big up on yourself.
And click the like button, people. We're not
click the like button, subscribe. You understand? We love Jamaica, but some things have to change. You understand?
Yeah, two grand can't work again, man. The fine them too high now. So you have to up.
No, 2 grand now, my brother. The fines them double up. You have to double that. 4 grand.
4 grand.
Yeah. All right, people.
All right, people. Take care of yourself. Walk good. We're out.